Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, we uncover a story where power is not shouted, but feared, where words are not tools of expression, but weapons of mass destruction. This is the story of a clan whose blood itself carries a curse, one that can crush enemies, shatter reality, and destroy the speaker from the inside. This is the hidden truth behind the Inumaki Clan. From the very beginning, the Inumaki Clan was never meant to live ordinary lives. Their story does not start with ambition or conquest, but with fear of a power that should never have existed. Long before Jujutsu society was organized into clans and schools, there were sorcerers who experimented with cursed techniques tied to sound, intent, and authority. Most of those experiments failed. Some ended in death, others ended in madness, but one bloodline survived the impossible, and that survival came at a terrible cost. The earliest ancestors of the Inumaki clan were believed to possess an abnormal resonance between cursed energy and vocal cords. When they spoke with intent, their words didn't simply reach the ears of others, they bypassed reality itself. Commands became law, reality listened. At first, this ability was uncontrolled. Villages were destroyed because a word spoken in anger carried lethal force. Spirits were erased from existence without a hand ever being raised. Even allies were harmed by accident. As generations passed, the clan realized a horrifying truth: this power could not be turned off. It was not a technique that could be sheathed or sealed away. It was embedded into their blood, their breath, their very identity. To speak normally was to risk killing someone. To shout was to invite catastrophe. What should have been a blessing became a sentence passed down through generations. Jujutsu elders eventually classified their power as cursed speech, a technique so absolute that it demanded isolation. The Inumaki were feared, avoided, and quietly monitored. Other clans whispered that their existence threatened balance itself. Yet instead of collapsing under that pressure, the Inumaki chose discipline over dominance. They rewrote their culture around control, restraint, and silence. This decision shaped them forever. Children born into the clan were trained from the moment they could understand language, not to speak, but to withhold. They were taught that every word had weight. That emotion was dangerous. That carelessness could kill. This wasn't hero training. It was survival training. Their curse was not evil, but it demanded perfection. Cursed speech operates on a terrifyingly simple principle. When an Inumaki issues a command infused with cursed energy, the target is forced to obey. The stronger the command and the stronger the target, the greater the backlash on the speaker. Commands like, stop, fall, or, don't move, can immobilize enemies instantly. Stronger phrases like, get crushed, or, die, can obliterate even powerful curses, but at the cost of severe physical damage to the user. Unlike other techniques, cursed speech does not rely on hand signs, barriers, or physical movement. It is instant, invisible, absolute. There is no dodging a command once it reaches the target. This makes it one of the most dangerous abilities in Jujutsu history, not just for enemies, but for the user as well. The human body was never designed to handle such authority over reality. Each command tears at the throat, damages internal organs, and drains cursed energy at a brutal rate. Blood vessels rupture, vocal cords tear, lungs collapse. An Inumaki who overuses their power risks permanent damage, or death. This is why the clan developed protective measures like cursed seals around the mouth and throat, and why they restrict their vocabulary to harmless words like ingredients or symbols. Their limited speech isn't quirky, it's necessary. Every tuna, salmon, or mustard leaf is a safety lock, a reminder that silence is the only shield they have against themselves. When an Inumaki speaks a real command, it is never casual. It is always a decision weighed against pain, consequence, and sacrifice. What makes cursed speech truly terrifying is its neutrality. It doesn't care about justice, morality, or intent. It obeys command structure, not righteousness. That means an Inumaki must carry an iron will and perfect emotional control. Anger can turn into murder. Fear can become destruction. Doubt can cripple allies. Their greatest enemy is not curses, it is their own voice. To live as an Inumaki is to live in constant restraint. Their silence is not emptiness, it is discipline carved into daily life. While other sorcerers train their bodies and techniques, the Inumaki train their minds. Emotional regulation is survival. Calm is armor. Isolation becomes routine. Relationships are difficult. Friendship requires explanation. Love requires trust at an almost impossible level. A single slip, a whispered word in a moment of vulnerability, can destroy everything. Many Inumaki choose distance over connection, solitude over intimacy. Their curse does not allow careless bonds. Within the clan, silence is respected. Communication relies on gestures, written language, and shared understanding. Children learn early that expressing emotion must be internalized, not vocalized. Pain is endured quietly, fear is swallowed, even grief is often experienced alone. Yet despite this burden, the Inumaki are not broken. They endure. They fight not because they enjoy battle, but because they understand responsibility. If their power exists, then it must be used with purpose. This belief defines their identity. They do not chase glory. They accept duty. The Inumaki clan's reputation in the Jujutsu world is complex. They are feared, respected, and pitied in equal measure. Cursed spirits instinctively avoid them. Sorcerers treat them with caution. Elders classify their technique as a last resort weapon, something to be deployed only when the situation is beyond control. And yet, when all hope collapses, when enemies cannot be touched or defeated by conventional means, it is the Inumaki voice that turns the tide. A single word can end wars. A single command can save hundreds of lives. Their silence hides apocalyptic potential. Their legacy is not one of conquest, but containment. They exist as living seals, guardians of a power too dangerous to misuse. Generation after generation carries the same burden, knowing their fate was decided before they ever spoke their first word. In the end, the curse in their blood is not just cursed speech. It is the knowledge that power always demands a price, and the Inumaki clan pays that price with their voices, their freedom, and their solitude. And yet, they stand. Silent, feared, necessary. A clan whose words shape reality, and whose silence protects the world.